It was a bright Friday morning in Seattle, and I still remember how ordinary the day felt, at least in the beginning. My name is Emily Carter, and I was 22 at the time, freshly graduated from college and still figuring out what to do with my life. My younger brother, Ryan, was 16, playful, full of energy, and a little too attached to his video games. Our parents had planned a short weekend trip to Portland for a family wedding. I had initially decided to go, but at the last minute, one of my job interviews got rescheduled to Monday morning, so I stayed behind. Mom wasn't thrilled about leaving Ryan home, but I assured her I'd take good care of him. When they left, the house suddenly felt quiet. Ryan was in the living room, laughing at some meme on his phone, and I was in the kitchen making coffee. "So, what's the plan, big sis?" he asked with a grin. "Simple," I said, pretending to sound responsible. "We survived the weekend without burning down the house." Ryan laughed. "Deal." That evening, the rain began to fall, softly at first, then harder, drumming against the windows. Seattle rain has a way of making everything feel a bit more dramatic. I cooked pasta for dinner, and Ryan, surprisingly, offered to help. He chopped the vegetables while I stirred the sauce. "Not bad, Chef Ryan," I said. He smirked. "I'm learning from the best." We ate together while watching an old movie Mom used to love. For the first time in a while, we actually talked about school, about my college life, and even about how much he missed Dad's corny jokes. I didn't realize how long it had been since we'd had a real conversation. After dinner, the power flickered and then went out completely. Ryan groaned. "Oh, great. No Wi-Fi, no lights." "Perfect," I said sarcastically. "Now we'll have to survive like pioneers." I found a flashlight and a few candles. We sat near the window as thunder rolled across the sky. For a moment, we just listened to the rain and talked about silly things, ghost stories, old memories, even that time he got stuck in the doghouse when he was 5. Later that night, Ryan went to his room, and I stayed up reading. But the house creaked in a way that made me uneasy. I could hear the wind rattling the back door, and somewhere outside, a trash can rolled over. Suddenly, Ryan's voice came from the hallway. Did you hear that?" I looked up. "Yeah, it's probably just the wind." But when I went to check the back door, I saw the latch was loose, barely holding. The storm had pushed it open slightly. I shut it tight and locked it again, feeling a shiver run through me. "Everything okay?" Ryan asked. "Yeah," I said, trying to sound calm. "Just the wind being dramatic." He nodded but didn't go back to his room. Instead, he sat down on the couch beside me. "I'll stay here for a bit," he said. We ended up talking again, about school pressure, friends, and his dream of becoming a game developer. I had never really paid attention to his ambitions before. I guess I always saw him as the annoying little brother. But that night, something changed. I realized he was growing up, trying to figure out life just like I was. Around midnight, the rain eased. Ryan dozed off on the couch, and I threw a blanket over him before heading to bed. The next morning, sunlight filled the living room, and everything felt peaceful again. I made pancakes, and Ryan woke up with his usual grin. "You made breakfast. Who are you and what have you done with my sister?" "Eat before I change my mind," I teased. We spent the morning cleaning up the mess from the storm. The backyard was littered with branches and leaves, so we decided to tackle it together. It was hard work, but we made it fun, Ryan pretending to be a lumberjack, me pretending to be his boss. After we finished, we sat on the porch with lemonade, enjoying the quiet. "You know," he said, "it's kinda nice being home without Mom and Dad sometimes." I nodded. "Yeah, it gives us a chance to talk like real people." He laughed. "You mean without you yelling at me?" "Exactly." That afternoon, I helped him with a small school project he'd been avoiding. He was designing a game prototype, and I offered to help with the story part since writing was my strength. We spent hours brainstorming characters, plots, and even sound effects. It was the first real teamwork we'd ever done. When evening came, the sky turned pink and gold, and Ryan suggested we order pizza. As we waited, we played a few board games, something we hadn't done in years. I realized how much I'd missed these little moments, the laughter, the teasing, the feeling of being family. Later that night, When our parents called, Mom asked if everything was fine. Better than fine, I told her. We're actually doing great. She sounded surprised and happy. On Sunday morning, Ryan woke me up early. Come on, Em, I have an idea. Still half asleep, I followed him to the backyard. He'd set up a blanket, a speaker, and 2 cups of hot chocolate. Since we can't go to Portland, I brought the weekend here, he said proudly. I couldn't help but smile. We sat under the morning sun, sipping cocoa and listening to music. The moment was so peaceful, so ordinary, yet it meant everything. By the time our parents returned that evening, the house was spotless, the fridge was stocked, and Ryan had even washed the car. Mom was amazed. Who are you two and what did you do with my kids? She joked. We laughed, but deep down, I knew something really had changed. That weekend taught me something simple yet powerful. Family bonds don't just happen, they're built, piece by piece, moment by moment. Ryan and I still argue sometimes, but after that weekend, we started to understand each other better. We began to share things, help one another, and even defend each other when our parents got strict. Months later, when I got the job I'd interviewed for, Ryan was the first to celebrate. He bought a cupcake, stuck a candle in it, and said, "For the best big sister ever." I laughed, but I'll never forget that gesture. Sometimes life changes not with big events, but with quiet weekends, the kind where you finally sit down, talk, and realize the person you thought you knew has grown up right beside you. And for us, that one rainy weekend in Seattle became exactly that, a time when 2 siblings who had drifted apart found their way back to each other.